In the sukkah, just got it ready. Today's my Zeide's yartzeit, 19th yartzeit, Borch ben Ytzchak. I remember he saw me off after Yom Kippur, spent Yom Kippur in Queens with him, and came back to the country. And Erev Sukkot he was already gone. And my Zeide was a man who was a ish chesed. His whole life, tonight's the Ushpizin of Avram Avinu, whole life was chesed. That was my Zeide. Everything he did was for someone else, to do somebody else a favor. That was his whole life. One of his neighbors worked not too far from him. He was my Zeide was a parole officer, He worked for New York State as a parole officer, and he was on his way to work every day. He'd bring one of his neighbors to work not too far away. So one day, he went and picked up his neighbor, brought it to work, and then she saw he's going the other way. She said, "Al, what are you doing? Don't you work this way?" He said, "No, but today's my day off." He didn't, even as his day off, he went to do someone else a favor. His last words, "Oh, who's going to bring Morris to the airport?" One of his neighbors was on his way to Florida. Who's going to bring him to the airport? And he was a yid who loved. He went to Minyan every day because he cared. He felt it as felt it's his responsibility. If it's not a Minyan, who's and it's his fault. He felt it's his achrayus, felt it's his responsibility. Baruch Hashem, we davened to Minyan last night and today and Shabbos, and we'll have for Yontim Mirz Hashem here in White Lake. Beautiful Minyan. I feel a lot of this is chus, I remember hearing a beautiful teaching from the Satmar Rebbe Shlita from Monroe, Baron Teitelbaum. It was before he became the Rebbe. So we're talking about 10 years ago, 11 years ago already, by the Tish on the yartzeit. And the Rebbe, he was Rav then, he asked, what's pshat when we say, after we mentioned tzaddik who left this world, words like schusi again aleinu, that his merit should protect us. It sounds foreign, it sounds pagan, it doesn't sound Yiddish. Jews talk like that? What does it mean? The merit of, the veneration of saints, that means that, the saint is going to protect us. What does that mean? That doesn't sound Jewish. So he said, no, you don't understand. It's all from God. It's not that they're doing something. Very simple and very beautiful. Not so complicated anything. It's well known, Judaism teaches, what a reward do we receive for the mitzvahs that we do. For example, the greatest mitzvah, learning Torah. Vilna Gaon says every word of Torah we learn is a mitzvah. You can imagine, sit down, learn a Blat Gemara, you say a few hundred words, Rashi and Tosfos, every word is a mitzvah. You count Sfira for 49 days. The big thing, we make a big deal out of it, According to some opinions, all those 49 days, you fulfilled one mitzvah. It's an important mitzvah, I'm not saying that, not belittling it. But you sit there, you learn a Blat Gemara, and you could do thousands of mitzvahs. There are different svarim that say, different times, or auspicious times, the more you learn, the bigger it is. What reward do we have for the mitzvah of learning Torah? We go, after 120 years, like my Zeide, he would go to Shul Shabbos, and they had a shir every week, Gemara Sanhedrin, and with the Rav, Rabbi Belitsky, Zecher Tzadik Levracha. He was a Rav in New Hyde Park, where my Zeide lived, and they would learn the Gemara Sanhedrin every I think Shabbos and Sunday morning, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, before Shabbos, all the guys who started the Masechta, they all signed their name in the front of the Gemara. And then, when the Gemara with the Rav was teaching from, and then when they made the Siyum, which was 15, 20 years later, they made the Siyum on Sanhedrin. It's a big Masechta. The ones who finished also signed. My Zeide was one of the few who had his name in the beginning and the end. A big schus. Gemara Sanhedrin we call Olam Haba Masechta, maybe. Usually it's a different pshat, Olam Haba Masechta, but everyone on their own beginner. And so Yid learned Torah. What schar is there for learning? We learned in this world. What schar is it we learn in the next world? We get to learn. We sit with the Tanaim and Amarayim. They explain with a bigger depth exactly what we learned, and you get to learn more. That's the reward for learning here, is learning in the next world. We daven here. My Zeide, like I said, he went to Minyan every day. Daven, put on tefillin, talis and tefillin every day. Went to Minyan. Shachris Mincha Maariv. What reward is there for the davening? Is in the next world you get to daven. So what about chesed? Like I said, my Zeide, he was an ish chesed. He had those 3 amudim: Torah, Tefillah, Gemilas Chasadim. Torah, Vayda, and Gemilas Chasadim. He was a big goymel chesed, big Baal Tzedakah. He wasn't a man of tremendous means, but he was comfortable, and yet he gave away much, well beyond what most people would give. A much higher percentage. He was a big Baal Tzedakah and big Baal Chesed, always helping people. You see someone waiting for a bus, he would stop and give him a ride, even if it meant to go out of his way. That was my Zeide. So the message of the... So what about chesed? What reward do you have for chesed in this world? Meaning, you go to the next world, everybody has everything they need. Nobody eats, nobody drinks, nobody needs anything. What kind of chesed can you do in the next world? How can you receive a reward for doing chesed? Meaning, the reward for learning Torah is you learn more Torah. The reward for davening is you daven more in heaven. What reward is there in heaven? So studying prayer, these type of devotions, you get to do them in heaven. That's obvious. But what about helping other people? Nobody needs anything in heaven. So the answer is that God rewards the kindnesses, the chesed, the charity that people do in this world by giving kindness to this world as a reward. And those people in heaven, they smile down. They feel so good to see the people they care about receive chesed. They receive a kindness. And so I believe, God rewarded. My Zeide went to Minyan all the time. That we had a Minyan here in White Lake today, so we could say Kaddish for him and praise God. That God's name should be great and magnified and hallowed. That's what it's all about. And so, in that way, we understand what reward we receive. The reward that's given for chesed, for kindness and tzedakah, is that God gives the reward to people here on earth as a reward for the kindness that the people who passed on did. And so, in that way, in that merit, we should be zoiche to experience and receive the chesed, that we can, then it could be invested to more chesed. Meaning we receive, and then we give, we could do more mitzvahs, and it goes further, and then it goes on to the next generations, Loloy to Mashiach, and hopefully we should be Zeide to see Huyakim Lanu Sukkah Stavin and Ifalis. I remember singing the Sukkah with my Zeide. I remember the Pesach Seder, I remember Purim, I remember Simchas Torah, Chanukah, all these precious mitzvahs, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Shavuos, such precious mitzvahs, and Yom Tovim, to be there, davening, Shachas Mincha Marv, Geschmack, from Yiddishkeit. I remember his Chumash with the notes he wrote in it. I remember when he would say Havdalah, and the Siddur, he had the Shiloh Siddur. I have very good memories. Zayin Ehrlich Yid, the Push the Yid, a fine Ehrlich Balabas, should be Zeide to be Bali Chesed like Avram Avinu, to be Zeide to see everything that we're hoping for. Right? Have a good Yantiv.